beginning of spring break, also have a Good Friday if you're in that world. What else? Oh, God. Longer term date. Longer term dates, we returned from break on the 25th. May 4th, 27th are half days, the 30th is Memorial Day. And then we're in June. That's like the end of our school year, basically. Got a bunch of half days. One of them is the last, which is the 17th. We have the 10th off, which is when we're celebrating Juneteenth, as opposed to when it really falls. Because they thought it would be silly to put it after the last day of school or on the last day of school. So, questions?
Nope.
Yeah, it's a lot of things. So, more things. Grades. So grades, because it was a tough quarter, I moved on to 69th, but also 68th to 70s. I'm not sure that helped anyone here. Also, there was a very few scholars who completed all of the homeworks that didn't pass. I moved them to a passing grade. There's like one or two. Almost without exception, everyone who did all the homeworks, they were already had great grades. So it's figured. Please, I've done comments, not for everyone, but almost everyone. Those are tended to help you, or at least say yay. Please pay attention to them. Some scholars haven't done the homework for this quarter yet. These guys all close at midnight tonight. You don't want this stuff for last week to close and get 40s. I'm proposing to the science chair that if you do get all your homework done, you get 100 grade in addition to your other grades. It won't hurt anyone. I'll come back to you. Okay, yes, Josh.
Are you guys like the recommendations?
We're doing that, yes. Rafida.
So you're talking about the end of the quarter?
Yes. Nope.
Another, like an additional 10th grade. Yes.
George.
This is for the fourth quarter.
Are we gonna have the option to physics if you can make a bio?
I don't know what they're gonna have. So when the thing with the spreadsheet with recommendation was handed to me, they didn't have honors on it, but they are gonna have honors. For 11th graders. Yes, Joshua. I don't know. I think they're trying really hard to get a physics professor in, but I'm not sure they're going to.
Well, what you do?
So you're saying that in the possibility that we don't have one, you should work it out.
No. So they'll have it for your senior year, I think, without question. I think they'll have it next year, but they're also thinking about rearranging the order in which people normally take things. That'll have more to do, I think, with the people who are currently ninth graders than it does with you. But if they did what they did last year, which I think they're going to change, next year you guys would take environmental. I had suggested that when that environmental, made more sense for either people who were beginning or people at the end. Because in a lot of ways, I mean, quite honestly, unless you kick it up a notch, environmental, what we got, of course, is pretty much, it should be. It's more, I don't know, it's more touchy-feely. Honors, or as far as environmental, there'll be environmental honors. There may be an AP environmental. If I teach environmental next year, I should be able to teach an AP.
Good.
So I mean, that's something that just because I have, I don't know if you know, I'm a geochemist, right? So besides everything else I ever did in my life. So I can teach AP environment, that's what we have been doing. But-
You try cooking that.
What?
You try cooking that.
No.
You just
You got this. Here.
You really would, no, you don't want to know, it's really bad for you.
I'm not nice to eat it. I'm sorry.
Don't worry.
The process is pretty explosive.
Okay.
Houses that it's been done in, you almost can't live in, because it impregnates the material, you don't want it. Anyway, but I know you think you're being funny, but it's almost really not funny. I don't know if you've ever seen pictures of people who've taken meth over a period of years. It's not
I
bad.
see. I have a lot of sheep.
Alright, so with that said, so my expectation and hope is that there will be physics next year, but I think you guys are going to be channeled. And what they'll do is, right now, they're asking us, and so what I'm gonna say is, they're asking us AP, honors, regular, or inclusion for next year, and AP Chem, and otherwise it would be environmental. But I'm thinking what they're gonna look at this is if they get the physics person in, they may shift you guys if you were AP Chem, and probably we'll write you notes and say,
Bio.
I've asked about that, we should be able to do AP Bio too.
Because I've been told by other science communities that it's a very big possibility now.
And I'm pushing it because, medical is so huge.
I don't want to
In
take
Jersey, medical and pharmaceutical is a huge business. We should have AP Bio, and I think we're gonna try and have that next year too. But they haven't given these things as options yet, and unless they change it since I looked at it last.
So let's say you take eight or your senior year, can you specifically remember eight?
Yeah, fit in as many APs as possible.
Wait, sorry. So like, let's say I have AP Chem, right? I have, can I choose AP Biology?
Really?
Yeah.
If we're offering it, yeah, I think so. That would be my approach. But again, I'm not sure, but I think we will have AP, I'm hoping we'll have AP Bio and it's. So they've also talked to me about doing a course which is, kind of, it's doing like
Yeah.
geology and astronomy kind of is a mix. And, hearing it from your stars like that. So more of a focus like that. So we'd start with the structure of the Earth and its atmosphere and so on, and we continue to comparing that to other planets, and asteroids and stars. Could we stop? All right, are we happy? I'm sorry, I don't have great detail. I could, once we get through the slides, I'll look back at the recommendations sheet, see if they changed it to give us any more options. But the recommendations aren't due, I think, until after we come back from break. I did that last year. We'll meet this week on Wednesday, I think. Maybe I'll ask about it before that. I know I'll be sitting down with the chairperson tomorrow, so maybe I can be. But don't be a whip. It is college credit, yes. What? Yes,
I've already done this college credit thing with AP seminar, and that's the worst course I've ever taken.
Well, this is not like that. Have you talked to the people who are taking it right now? AP Chem?
They all hate it. They all hate it. They said it's the hardest thing to take.
I don't know what to say.
They're all crap.
They're not small.
Are they? I don't know that's true. I can check that. You can check Smarter Friends, clearly. We actually put they were eager to grow the AP Chem, they thought it was good to challenge people. So and I don't mean to pick on your friends, I'm just being a jerk. We did go with a relatively low bar this last year. I'm gonna try and take it up a little bit for who's in AP Chem. But they wanted to challenge people with the idea, which is it good? Is it bad?
How's he doing?
He never does any of, I didn't say this, but he never does any of his homework. Guess what that does to your grade? Guess what that does to your achievement? You cannot do that. It's not gonna work. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's an AP exam for everything.
if it's AP, there's an exam.
AP seminar has a test. Oh, I get it.
It's terrible.
Alright. So once we get going here, I got some homework for you guys. I'll look at the thing and see if they changed it yet. And if there's any new information, I'll give it to you. Alright,
Can I take AP lane 60?
guys. Hoodie, cell phone still not allowed.